Some of you that have followed my channel for a while know that I experiment with planes a little bit. There's a couple up there still. I haven't done a lot with it, but I've flown some wings and some other stuff, so I got a new box here today, and I'll show you what I got in there now. Alright, so that's what I got. Mini Apprentice S from HobbyZone Hobby. It's basically a trainer type plane. I've been flying some faster wings and things, but I still crash a little bit, and I haven't had a plane to fly with the landing gear and stuff. I did have that Carbon Cub Z that I got from a buddy, but I wasn't really feeling ready to fly that yet. And this comes with the safe technology and a couple of different flight modes to, help you learn a little bit. So I don't think I'll really need the beginner modes, but what's cool on this plane is you do have sort of a panic button. Here you go, panic recovery mode. So they have just a button essentially on the remote to rebalance it out and just kind of level you back out if you do panic or lose control, which will help if you're learning and you do run into a problem. So that's really the one feature I want. Outside of that, I don't really want to fly with much help. I've flown enough that I know the controls well enough to fly pretty good. It's just the line of sight is still a little new to me. So the panic button is what I'm looking forward to on this little Mini Apprentice S. It is a brushless motor, which is cool, so it should have decent power. I bought the ready to fly version because I don't have any Spectrum remotes, and so this comes with a little DXE. And yeah, let's get it opened up. I'll show you what we got here. Alright, so there's what's in the box. And it's a huge box, and the reason why is it looks like they've got the wing in one piece. So it's just, the length of the box, and then your fuselage. Looks like you got your tail wing right there, our instructions and stuff. Does come with a little battery, little E-flite 3S, 1300 milliamp. Looks like it's only 20C. Like a little car charger there. That's nice. Wall charger, batteries for the controller. There's our little radio. So let me get the tape off this thing. We'll start pulling some parts out. Alright guys, so here it is out of the box. There's our little fuselage. You can see the electronics inside of there, Spectrum receiver, the servos, and our ESC up front. Nice little plastic nose cone, propeller all installed. Everything feels real good. And then there's our wing, which again comes all one piece. Pretty nice looking wing. I like the blue and black scheme on here. Got our servo cables, wires hooked up underneath there, and then they've got a nice cover going all the way across, so that'll plug right in on top of the plane. And then as far as chargers go, we got a unique little charger here. So it's just a balance port charger, but you've got a car adapter, so you can plug into the car. That then plugs into this adapter for your wall supply. So I don't use them that much at home. I have my regular hobby grade balance charger, but that's kind of cool to have the car charger. Better than nothing if you want to put one on the charger while you're flying around with some other packs. I do have some other packs on the way for this. I'll probably be changing this over to XT60 plugs because I just like them better, or at least making an adapter. We got some little batteries for the radio, and then we've got our rear wing, tail wing, our landing gear, some other landing gear. I think they said that was for the floats, if you buy the optional floats, and then our rubber bands and some hardware to put the landing gear on. And that's pretty much it. So pretty simple deal. We'll put that together here real quick. Here is the radio, the Spectrum DXE. It's their lower end radio, but it feels decent in your hands. A little light. The gimbals are definitely weak compared to what I'm used to, but this will work for our plane. It's got some different controls for your flight modes. It does have an arming switch, and it does have high and low rates. Outside of that, it's just your standard Mode 2 controller with your pitch controls, and that's kind of it. I know it does have an optional cable you can buy to program it to fly other planes, so not a bad little radio for how cheap it is. But anyway, that's what we got. I'm gonna go ahead and put this together and show you what it looks like, and then we'll get it up in the air. Alright guys, so I'm out with the plane, and I've had a few flights with it now. It's doing great. We got a pretty cloudy, nasty day, so I'm hoping to get a couple flights in real quick. But the wind is pretty light right now, probably 4 or 5 miles an hour, which is actually a lot for this little plane. So we'll see how it performs. But I'll be testing out the different modes with this. This is the Mini Apprentice S, and let's get her up. Alright, so that's the sound it makes when it thinks it's ready to go. Let's go ahead and take her out. I had one flight in this morning, and it was a little bit heavy, so hopefully the CG is a little better right now. I just adjusted it a tiny bit. So we're going to take off in beginner mode just to test it out a bit. But just to taxi it, you pretty much need it in experienced mode to get it to turn. So up it goes. The wind keeps really coming and going, so we'll see what we get here. But you can see how docile of a plane it is. That's 0 throttle. I hope you can see that. No throttle. It is using the AS3X, and it's in beginner mode, so I'll switch the modes up here in a second so you can see the difference. Beginner mode, I really don't even feel any rudder at all. I've got to use the ailerons to turn it. So let's switch it up here. So this intermediate mode, now we've got a lot more bank, a lot more rudder. Still very docile though. Look at the wind just pick it up. Give a little more throttle and it pulls right through it. But you can definitely see every bit of the wind hitting this plane, even with the stabilization it has. Oh, and that's my timer, I forgot to reset it. Really cool plane. Let's see if I can get it out and bring it in a little closer. Flying into the wind, it needs a lot of throttle to even move, really. Let's see if I can bring her in a little lower and closer. Get it on camera here. I mean, you almost have to push full elevator down just to get it to actually go down in this wind. It's insane. And then she just picks right back up. But I mean, it almost hovers in this wind. It's pretty wild. I can't get it to do a rudder turn out there with the wind. It's so much wind right now. But this is good for me. I'm new to line of sight flying. So this is a good thing for me that it's so docile. You see right there, it tried to stall a little bit on me and it just pulls right out of it. No problem. Now this is still intermediate mode. You can see I can only bank it so far. I can't roll it all the way, but it does give me better throws. So we'll test out expert mode in just a second. And I'm comfortable with the different modes as far as flying it in the air. It's the landings where I'm still learning a little bit. Just bring it in tighter here. Well, that wind just really picks up on it. I mean, it's almost hovering right there. I'm not moving it much at all. Okay, so we are now in experienced mode. And you'll see here in a second, we've got full axes now, which is more of what I'm used to anyway. It's actually a lot easier for me to turn now, but of course I just don't have the safe features for beginners, which is important. But I do have the panic recovery button set up if I need it, but it's almost more stable now for me, just because I have more control. I know what to expect a little bit more now. I'm gonna bring it in for a landing. And for that, I'm actually gonna switch it back into a beginner mode and show you how easy this thing lands. It's almost too easy. There she is. Such a simple little flyer. I'd recommend this to anybody who's beginning like me. Alright, we're going to take off and fly an intermediate this time. Zero wind. Still super stable. Easy takeoff. Really neat plane. So quiet and stable in the with no wind. I mean, it's so quiet, you can, probably not on the camera, but I can hear the AS3X doing its job and helping me along. Alright, coming into the wind, almost too much wind. We're going to take and set her down just like that. We'll taxi back over. Get another takeoff in. So again, that was intermediate mode that whole time. Expert mode is definitely the easiest mode for me to fly this on, but I haven't done much landing with it yet, so let's see what we can do here. We still got 3 minutes on this battery at least. Alright, just a tiny bit of wind. Up, no problem. It's like I said, it's almost like it's hovering in that wind. Nice flat turns. I'm still very much learning, guys, so to be able to fly a plane like this without much experience, I mean, I have the drone experience, but not a lot of line of sight fixed wing experience. It's pretty impressive that this plane can help you as much as it does. It's pretty mind-blowing, really. Alright, now we're in experienced mode. So let's see how it does. Or how I do, I should say. The plane will do fine. Probably should take her up a little higher in case I make a mistake. It's one thing that I struggled getting used to, and that I'm sure most people struggle getting used to, is remember to take it up high. You know, a guy, you know, told me the other day, he says, you know, be 2 mistakes high, you know, if you're not comfortable. And I forget to do that sometimes, and I'm sure a lot of new pilots do. But it's important. One mistake and you're on the ground, you know. I've crashed my foam planes plenty of times. You guys have seen that on my channel if you've watched the channel for a while. I've crashed my foamies, split them straight in half. And sorry about all the beeping. That's just my Spectrum. I've got it set up on a timer where over 10% throttle, it kicks in the timer. Well, let's see, am I gutsy enough to land it on experienced mode? God, it just hovers there. It looks like it's gonna come hit me in the head. Come on down. She still doesn't want to come on down. Okay, alright. We got it. A little bit of bouncing. It's no big deal. Alright. Awesome, guys. That was in full experienced mode right there. Super fun. It's still so docile. I mean, they call it experienced mode. It still doesn't feel like it. You got that AS3X working for you and everything. It's a lot easier than what I imagine most planes to be like. So that's the Mini Apprentice S. I hope you guys like the video. It's probably really hard to see the plane through most of it. But a lot of fun. I'll work on the camera settings, see how I can find a way to show the plane a little better. But anyways, thanks for checking it out. Bye.